Alright, we're back. We just got all the screws out, magnetic screwdriver. Okay, now we have to pry off the faceplate. You have to remember how to do this, it's been a long time. Thinking we just, oh yeah, that's what you do. You have to open, this took me a while to figure out, you have to open the UMD cage so that there's like a hook or something that you can pull this off. I'm just going to pull it off. All it does is carefully pull it off. You slide that way a little because of that little hook. That's the UMD hook. Alright. Now we have our PSP without the cage. Now this is the part we need for the analog stick. You're basically going to be working with this the whole time. So, we have to find the connectors, which is right here. Just gonna pry it up like so. That, and this part also comes off. It's the, I think. No. I don't think so. I think it does. So all you have to do is it's connected to the power switch right here. You just got to pull that out, and the whole board will just pop out. I did that. So we just alright, so it is connected to the shoulder button. Alright, so all I had to do, this part was in there. This was on top of it for the shoulder button. You just pop that off, or you might not have to. I did. You can just pull that out. Might be a little tough, but this is what we need right here. Alright, so once you have the button board, you're going to need to know how to solder. You can find a lot of other YouTube videos on how to do that. Basically, you plug this thing in, heats up, you have this solder that you buy from Radio Shack or somewhere else. And all you do, you flip it out and you basically melt it and dab that liquid metal onto the contact, so it makes it so that the wire and the metal are bonded together and it can conduct electricity. So that's basically it. You're going to have your wire and your button board. Now, for each button you're going to have to scrape off part of the green to reveal this goldish. So you can do that with a knife, hobby knife, or whatever else you want. And let's see how close I can get. And right here, see this thing that goes around. You don't want to scratch it out there until you see a little gold. Then you solder a little bit of wire to there. Same thing over here. It's a circle. See that? You just scratch off a little right there. For here, square, same thing. See that? Scratch off a little right there. Solder it. Wait a second. Yeah, sorry. I couldn't see the wire. That wire's connected to it. And for X, it's just right there. In that little square. Right there. And for your ground wire, which basically like grounds your circuit, is going to be, I think you can connect it to any one of these little gold things. I just connected it to right there, little gold. You can connect it to right there, there, pretty much anywhere. Now, once you have your little joystick, it's very small. This is what it looks like. You're gonna have 3 points across from each other. There's, I don't know how much you can see. You can't see anything. That's because of all the glue and solder. Let's see about the other side. Yeah, you can see that more. You have little contacts, 1, 2, 3. Basically, the joystick gets pushed diagonal. When you push it this way, that contact gives off a little signal. When you push it that way, that contact gives off a little signal. Same for that way, and same for that way. So how I have it set up is you actually put the joystick in diagonally, like that. That's what it's kind of in, like so that this is down, that's square, that's triangle, that's circle. So ignore those sides with the flaps, and these sides, this side has a little dots like the other side does, but you can't see it. So you basically solder to the first dot on this side, that's X. So you connect that to the X wire. Middle one on this side is going to the ground wire, the middle dot. Then the third dot goes to the circle wire. Then on the other side, the top, or third one, farthest right, goes to triangle. And then ignore the middle one. Then the left one goes to square. Basically, it's very hard to solder them to the very, very small things. Basically what I did, my soldering iron's not that good. You just get a little like solder on it so that it's stuck to the iron, and you just keep dabbing the wire to it until you get it. It's very hard, but once you get it, you have it. So what I have to do, since I already done this, is I have to reconnect the ground, the circle, and triangle, I think I have to reconnect the wires, but I'll show you once I'm done. Then I'll show you how to reconnect it. So we have our joystick, analog stick, whatever you want to call it, soldered in hopefully all the right spots. Now this is like a critical part, because if they're not soldered correctly or they come undone, you have to solder when everything's connected again. You have to worry about dropping solder on the screen and burning wires and stuff like that. I had to do that the first time, and I probably will have to do it again, because they break off real easily right here, and you just gotta be really careful. What you want to do now is you want to, as best you can, like bend the wires under, creating like one, basically like one wire with all the 4 wires, so that you don't want them all spread out like this. You want them all into like one wire, pretty much. I'll do it right now. I'll show you. Alright, so that's a decent job right there. I don't think any of the solder snapped off. So you got them all closer together so that we can put it back in the PSP. That's our first job. Now, with our little joystick soldered, you gotta be careful. Everything. We're just gonna pop it back into place. I'll do that. You hear all those clicks? That's it clicking back in place. And we successfully have our board with the analog stick in place. Now something that we're going to have to do later, or, hold on, right here. See that little, this thing? It's hard to see. Hold on, let me focus. Alright, this black thing right here that's connected to this board fits in this little groove so that you can turn it on and off. Sometimes if you soldered wrong or the wire's a little thick, you have to push this back in, but it won't quite go all the way in there. What I did before is I just put a glob of hot glue in there, and it connected fine to that, and I could move it up and down, and it worked for until now. So yeah, so if we snap it back in there, hopefully everything not going in. Here, hold up. Alright, so it's in there. The power thing's sort of in there. We'll figure that out afterwards. You put the R button back. We're going to snap this thing back on just how it was. That's pretty easy. Just like that. Alright, next is the cage. So what you have to do, you have to fit these two screws and a little hook up here at the top. You just slide it in there, like slide it in the groove so that it fits, and that will hold the UMD door closed. I'll do that right now. Alright, so we got the UMD door closed, and something that I had trouble with the first time, this screw cage right there, it's going to snap behind this black piece of plastic. It could go front or back. Make sure it goes behind so that it'll snap in easily. So now I'm going to screw it in, and I'll be back.